Well, good Saturday afternoon to you, wherever you are. So, we've had a rain day today. So I said, well, let's put it to good use. I was going to wait and follow the instructions in the owner's manual of my Hawk X here. It said to wait until you reach 500 miles to do your first oil change, your valve shim adjustment, and adjust your chain, all kind of stuff. Well, I've been doing that since I've had it. First thing I did when I got it home was check the air in the tires and the slack on the chain. So I've maintained those two things really well. But the little bike's been running a little bit warm. Of course, it's been well over 100 degrees Fahrenheit here. That's around 35 degrees Celsius for most of the month of August, and that's just normal here. Most people call it global warming. We call it summer here in Texas. Idaho, wherever you're at. It's been hotter than hell up in Idaho. I've been checking it. My stepson's in the Air Force up in Idaho, and whoo, man, it's been hot up there. But anyway, so I just decided, well, it's a rain day. I've got 200 miles on the Hawk. Had it like maybe a month, maybe 3 weeks, somewhere in there. So I wanted to check things out because I'd heard that they had this problem, that problem, one problem or another. So the first thing I did today was adjust the valves, and I was going to check my spark plug, but the El Cheapo wrench they give you just will not take the spark plug out of the bike. So I'm going to go buy one that's specific for that spark plug size. And of course it has the torch spark plugs, which is supposed to be copper core, all that good stuff. Who knows? It's running good. So I decided I wanted to check out the carburetor, and I did the hacksaw trick that Moto Cheese did to make slots in the tamper-proof screws, and took them out and turned it over. I looked at my jets, and it had a 108 and a 45. Well, the only thing I did there was I put a 110 in it instead of the 108. Put it back on the bike. Well, once I got the plastic plug out of the idle adjuster, they only had like 1.1 3/4 turns out from all the way in. So I turned it out to about 2, a little bit more than 2 turns. Reassembled everything, put it back on the bike. It idles a little bit faster, just barely, but it idles really smooth now. And I said, okay, that's good. We'll see how it runs when these crazy thunderstorms quit running all over us like they have been all day. And so I packed the toolkit in my backpack that I carry with me to work. I've got a high-vis safety vest. I've got a rain jacket in there, and I carry bottles of water to work because I work outside most of the day. And in the other compartment, I've got a complete toolkit, 1/4-inch drive ratchet with several deep sockets. I got screwdrivers. I've got a pick. I've got a pair of pliers, some zip ties, some extra nuts and bolts, some extra electric connectors, and the equipment to put those connectors on. So I idled it for a while, and I thought, well, I've got these 2 quarts of oil sitting here. So I'll just go ahead and, instead of waiting for 500 miles, I'm at 200, I'll go ahead and change the oil. Boy, am I glad I did. So I pulled the drain plug out of the bottom of the motor there and drained oil. Well, I thought it was full, but it wasn't. In fact, it only had 3/4 of a quart of oil inside the motor. When I get through changing oil and stuff, I always fill the old bottles back up with the old stuff, and that's how I discovered how much it had. This thing takes 1 3/4 quart of oil. I use the Valvoline 1040 motor motorcycle specific oil. And boy, let me tell you what, that motor, they had no oil from the factory or from the dealership or whatever. It didn't look burnt, but you can tell there's a lot of metal shavings in there, brand new motor. So the magnetic plug was covered with a little old black ball of gunk. So I'm glad I changed the oil out today. I'm glad I checked the carburetor. Made sure everything's high and tight and good and snug on the old bike, and ran it for about 2 or 3 minutes to let the new oil go in there and wash out any potential other things that may be going on in the motor. And I just noticed something. This motorcycle has an ERG valve on it. It has a thing coming out of the head, little fitting, and a rubber hose that goes up to the frame and comes back down and hooks to the intake manifold. So it's got an exhaust gas recirculation valve on this particular model. Checked the clutch out, made sure that it had enough slack in it, and just generally did a really good cleaning on the bike after it got through. So we'll get, hopefully, the rain will stop tonight or in the morning, and I'll go for a little ride, see how it's all going, and go somewhere and get me some breakfast. Maybe a Denny's, maybe a whatever, maybe Burger King, who knows. But anyway, just want to let y'all know what I did today. It's pretty easy to work on. I do use blue Loctite when I put things back together. It's strong enough to hold, but light enough to where if you need to get that bolt loose, it isn't going to take an act of Congress and a flamethrower to heat it up to get it off of there. But just wanted to let y'all know we got the rain day going on today, so we just do things inside. Y'all be good. Enjoy yourself. Hope you have fun this weekend so that when you got to go back to work on Monday, at least it was worth the work you did last week. Anyway, till next time, we'll see y'all. And keep 2 wheels on the ground, boys and girls. Bye-bye.